just gonna start right here. Like, I actually brought this car over to our new shop because we have really cool direct lighting in here. The lighting in the other shop works great for paint correction as well, but this is more of a focus light, so you could really see the paint defects. And I'm also gonna show you with this phone right here, and my handy dandy swirl finding light. So I'm gonna start by, I'm just looking at this fender and the giant sanding mark on it. So this circle, the big white circle, that's a sanding mark. So there was a piece of dust in the paint right there, and Tesla sanded it out, and then they did not buff the mark out that was left from sanding the dust nib down. You can actually see the dot in the middle of it where the dust nib was. So we'll polish that out and correct it. Let's just keep going around the car. This one was really bad. This is a good one to show, actually. So if you look at the hood, there's scratches, there's swirls, there's more. See this big gray area right here? That actually was all sanded as well. There's another big sanding mark right next to the T emblem. If I keep going around the car, there's scratches from being wiped down, washed everywhere. And basically all we did to this car was a really quick O&R wash. We haven't done anything else to it yet. We're gonna do a paint correction and like a full stealth wrap, and I'm gonna demo some of our polishing and correcting techniques. But I wanted to show the condition of the car as it arrives. So you can see right here, all the way down this door, it's really bad. And the customer took delivery of the car this way. It's like, yeah, I don't even know what I would say. I was just like, I'm glad I know that can be fixed, but kind of bad, guys. Not knocking the guys at Tesla. I know they're super busy just getting cars out the door and keeping up with demand, so they probably don't have time to spend many, many hours correcting the paint, but that's okay. We do. And on this door, you have a big sanding mark again right there. You can see it. And then also lots of buffer holograms on this. Like, there's tons of DA haze on this car, which is a hazy pattern created from polishing aggressively with a DA polisher. And then there's lots of these marks, these big holographic looking ones. Those are created from a rotary buffer. Yeah, see all this? Tons of buffer swirls right here. And then lots of scratches. And then also, you know, something that's happened for a really long time, ever since these cars have came out, this spoiler, it's always off. Like, you literally can see the tape does not make contact with the paint. So every time these cars come in, I take the spoiler off and I retape them and put them on better than they came from the factory. Yeah. So clearly they're still having some manufacturing issues on these. That doesn't save the fact that it's a really awesome car and you forget all about it when you drive it, but you know, still some issues to be worked out. Here's a very big cluster of DA haze. And if you look deep beneath the DA haze, you can see where they were sanding in quite a few places here. Also, there's a lot of hard water etchings on this car, which may have happened after the customer picked the car up. I don't know for sure, but there's a lot of scratches right there too. Yeah, we're gonna have our work cut out with us on this one. This is a section I'm gonna start doing my paint correction on. It's got basically every type of defect you could possibly want. There's DA tick marks everywhere, there's DA haze, there's sanding marks, there's what appears, I don't know what that is, some weird paint defect. There was a big piece of dust right here they didn't fully get out. I could keep going. Oh, there's water spots. And lions and tigers and bears, oh my. So I'm gonna do a tape line through the middle of all this, and I'm gonna do 2 or 3 steps just to see what it takes to clean all this up. We'll go from there. Since we're doing a full wrap on this car, we're gonna have to take this trim off anyways. And when you're polishing, normally you would tape this stuff off, but these actually pop out pretty easy. So it's actually much faster to just remove them when polishing so you don't get compound or anything on there. But it's dirty and my OCD is freaking out, so I have to clean it. I have a Rupes Mark III polisher. I have a 6.5-inch Meguiar's microfiber finishing disc. I've been correcting cars for a really long time, and I spent many years getting really good at correcting cars, and this is my favorite correction pad by far and away. I know a lot of stuff has changed, and I am not correcting cars every day, and everyone's got new pads and stuff they really like, but tried and true, any car, any paint, I can cut the way I want to with this pad, and I learned how to do that from my good friend, the Buff Daddy, Kevin Brown. It's got every defect you could ask for, all right here. There's sanding marks, there's water etchings, there's DA haze, and scratches and swirls, and yeah, it's pretty bad. Because this paint is so bad, I'm gonna wanna work this a little bit. We're using CQuartz Pro Ultra Cut, and I'm gonna do a pretty small section because I would rather do one pass in a small section and get everything in one go than have to do a big section and go back over it multiple times. When compounding, you're actually removing small amounts of paint. The idea behind microfiber pads are that the abrasive clings to the microfiber itself, not actually rolls around on the paint, but it's stuck on here. And then as the machine action rolls the abrasives around, it rolls into the little scratches and valleys and kind of levels them out without removing excessive paint, versus when you're just rolling abrasives around on the paint, it's just mowing down. So this is actually removing a lot less paint than you would remove with like a traditional polisher or pad when doing this kind of compounding. So let's wipe this off and see what we got for our first pass. Two-faced towel, and I'm using the short nap side. This big mark right here, this big grayish defect that's in the paint right here, this is DA haze. It was created by one of these machines. Somebody doing exactly what I just did in a different manner caused that haziness. So it's created when your abrasives, you're using compound or an aggressive abrasive, and it mars up the paint. So they tried to compound this panel out, but they didn't remove any scratches, and they just put a bunch of tick marks in it. So after I compounded it, you can see it's still hazy, but it's a lot clearer than it was. And I'll pull this tape in just a second. That's the way I mark stuff to see which sections I want to go back over. I would make a joke about not licking your car, but that didn't go so well for me. Alex is laughing right now because he gets it. It's an inside joke. I'm going to go back over this a couple more times just to kind of get it the way I want to before I polish it. And then we'll wipe it off and we'll take the tape off and we'll see what we got from there. So I'm switching my pad now to a Meguiar's yellow foam polishing pad, and I'm using Optima's Hyper Polish. When I'm polishing, I usually polish a little bit faster than I'm gonna go ahead and pull my tape off before I start wiping, so I don't accidentally pick up tape residue. I pulled my tape off, and here's the section I compounded and polished. You can see it's pretty clear, like versus, this is just with this lighting. You can see all the defects versus over here, or even on the door. Door is not quite as bad as the fender was, but when you look with this light, you can see all this haze, all the scratching. And over here, it's really good. It's clear. Yeah, a couple spots need to be gone back over on this. But overall, I got like a 90%-ish improvement. Well, we got our work cut out for us on this one, so we'll get to it. Thanks for watching. I'm Joe with OCDetailing. Please subscribe for more videos.